Hello my beautiful little unicorns, welcome back to my channel and thank you guys all so much for tuning in today. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa Samina and welcome to the fam. So you guys, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for the overwhelming positivity that you put onto my channel. I know you guys love the looks, I know you guys love the rainbow hair, changing styles and all of that, and I really appreciate that you guys are here for it because that is how I express myself. That is something that makes me happy. It's therapeutic for me to try out new looks. It's fun for me. It's something that I'm passionate about besides spirituality. And I just think it's amazing how accepting and loving you guys are. You guys are just a cool freaking following, okay? You guys are just an awesome following. How else am I supposed to put it? So you guys, thank you for all your support. I love you guys so much. So you guys, today's reading is all about your life 10 years from now. So I have prepared 4 groups for you. And I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So just go with whatever group, with whatever mineral resonates the most with you. And as usual, I'm gonna let you know that there's no shame in the multiple groups game. So if you feel drawn to 2 groups, maybe even 3 groups, feel free to tune into multiple readings because your personal reading, it may be a mixture between 2 or more groups. So regarding the groups, we have the blue calcite, we have the tiger eye, we have the howlite, as well as the kunzite. So the timestamps will be down below as usual, so you can just click your corresponding timestamp in order to fast forward to the reading that you want to see. And if you're new to my channel, make sure that you tune into one of my readings first and then subscribe, because you know, this is the point in my intro where I could be like, subscribe. But you guys, I don't want to be that person. I want you to enjoy the readings. I want you to feel encouraged. I want you to feel like you've gotten insight, encouragement, and positive vibes from my readings. So make sure that you tune in before you decide to subscribe. So yeah, you guys, I'm pretty sure I said all that I needed to say in this intro. My gorgeous little unicorns, you guys know that I love you. I love engaging in the comment section. So make sure that you give this video a thumbs up in order to let me know that you enjoyed it. And yeah, you guys, I'll see you in your readings. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading about your life 10 years from now. So you chose the blue calcite. So group number 1, first and foremost, I want to speak to you about why you may have chosen the blue calcite. So the blue calcite is for anybody who stresses a lot. The blue calcite is meant to have very calming energy, is meant to encourage very calm vibes. So if you're somebody who stresses out or feels like deadlines are almost like death sentences, then that is maybe why you chose the stone, and that is maybe why this reading is exactly for you. But obviously, you know, the blue calcite is a beautiful stone. You may have just felt drawn to it because of its beauty, but maybe also because of its deeper meaning. But let me set up your reading for you, group number 1, and we can move further into your life 10 years from now. Okay, so group number 1, we have the High Priestess, we have the World, we have the Hermit, as well as the 7 of Cups. And as we already spoke about, you know, the blue calcite may have showed up in your reading because you need to learn to channel a little bit more of a relaxed vibe, you know, a less stressed out you. So moving straight into your reading about your life 10 years from now, I can see that in the High Priestess, you're going to have learned to chill out a little bit. You're going to have learned that it's always best to let things happen, to take time and to not rush anything. So maybe right now you're somebody who likes to act very quickly, who likes to get things done, as well as stresses out really easily about really little things. So I see that 10 years from now you will have learned that, you know what, it's okay to be somebody who stresses out quickly, but you don't need to let it affect your entire mood, your entire day, your entire vibration. You can just look at you being easily stressed as, okay, this is something that I need to deal with, and I'm going to deal with it at my own pace. I'm somebody who may feel a little bit more stressed than others, or may feel pressured a little more easily than other people, and that is fine. I have my own things that I'm dealing with, and other people have their things that they're dealing with. So I see that you will have distinguished, you will have put some distance between you and these factors. You will have distinguished that other people have things that they're dealing with, just like you do. And you know, it doesn't have to be a death sentence. It doesn't have to be something that affects your life greatly because you can control it. You are in control over your emotions, and you're somebody who will have learned that spirituality and, meditation, this inner peace, inner calmness is something that will help you really control your emotions and control your life a lot more than you've been able to do until this point in life. So a lot of maturing is going to happen, a lot of you forming into somebody who has that air of authority, that air of maturity. So in the world, I see that, things are going to feel fulfilled. I definitely see that, your home life, your love life, your family life, that is something that is going to be at a point where you feel like you have the world, where you feel like you are fulfilled and like you are not lacking anything. So if you would like to be married, if you would like to have kids at some point in time, I definitely see that within the next 10 years, you will form a bond in your life, a family, home life that will make you feel complete, that will make you feel good. So that might also help ease the stress, becoming a parent, becoming somebody who is responsible for another human being will teach you that stressing out is going to do nothing but make the situation worse, and you're not going to be setting a good example like that. So obviously, you could also be a pet parent that has a nervous pet. So you're going to learn that you remaining calm keeps everyone around you calm and keeps the entire situation at bay. So in the Hermit, I see that time alone is going to be valued. So especially if 10 years from now, you do have a family, you do have children, a husband, etc., things can get very busy. It can be a lot, and you can sometimes feel like you just need time for yourself. So in the Hermit, I definitely see that you will be craving more alone time because you just feel like, you're constantly on the go, you're constantly doing things with other people, and maybe right now you feel a little bit lonely, but I see that 10 years from now, it's going to be the opposite thing. It's going to be the other way around, where you're like, oh, I really, really need some alone time. I need to take a bubble bath. I need time to just read where nobody is asking me for anything. So moving further into your reading group number 1, we have the 7 of Cups. So in the 7 of Cups, I see a form of temptation. I see a form of maybe even something forbidden going on in your life. So maybe by that point you will have taken up drinking. Okay, I don't mean this like in a crazy way, but I just mean like maybe you will sometimes lean on substances, for instance, if you can't sleep very easily, or if you feel stressed out and you just want a glass of wine. So that is something that could be tempting, to lean on sort of substances to just make yourself feel like soothed and a bit more relaxed, but it's nothing extreme. I see that these are just things that, everyday adults often deal with, that humans often, face, like these temptations. I don't see in correlation with the rest of your reading that this is something detrimental or any sort of, severe substance abuse or anything like that. I just see that you're often, tempted by unhealthy foods that make you feel better, or drinking a glass of wine to make your nerves feel like a bit more calm. So that type of temptation. But let's move further into your readings. We have action, we have growth, we have Green Tara, as well as Diana. So group number 1, what I see for you 10 years from now is the fact that action is something that you will have to continuously be taking. I see that it's going to be the perfect time to continue acting, to continue going, to continue, getting closer to what your goals are in that moment in time. And I see that you're taking more inspired action towards your dreams. You sort of move forward with a lot more confidence, and confidence is something that you will have gained over the years and that will make you feel like you know what you're doing. So I definitely see that action is something that will come a lot easier to you. So maybe at this point in time you feel like you procrastinate a lot, and I see that at that point in time, with the world, with the fact that everything is basically how you wanted it to be, you're going to be very protective over your home circle. You're going to be very protective over your world and your bubble. So you're going to make sure that the action that you take is always very, very passionate, is always action that makes sure that your bubble stays protected and that things continue flowing in your life. And in growth, I definitely see, maturing. I definitely see you becoming a mentor or a guide, which could also transpire with you becoming a parent. That is also in a sense a mentor or a guide. So I definitely see that you take little steps up until that point. So it's not necessarily something that is going to happen within the next year that you all of a sudden take on this mentor role. I see that this is definitely a like slow and steady progression over these next 10 years. And I see that, you know, you're very much willing to still learn from others. You're not the kind of person where, you know, once you have this authority, once you're the person in charge, or you're the parent, the leader, you know, maybe at your job, you're in a position where you're leading a lot of people. That doesn't mean that you're like, okay, I know everything and I'm right and things need to be done exactly the way I want them to be done. I see that you're still very open to listening to others, to exchanging ideas, as well as taking their thoughts on board. So you're not close-minded or closed off at this point in time. And in the green Tara, I definitely see that you know that you're being protected. Your third eye is open. Your intuition is something that you continue following. You know, maybe there are motherly, fatherly instincts happening there, and you're moving beyond any sort of limitations. So limitations that you may have set for yourself right now, like for instance saying, oh, I can't make more than X amount of money, or I can't move further than, you know, X amount up the corporate ladder, or I can't possibly have a partner that is like this or like that. So I definitely see that in 10 years from now, like, you will have moved way beyond those limitations. You will have cut the cords of those limitations, and you will know that it is best to just allow the universe to do its thing, stay positive and confident, you know, allow growth and maturing to form you into this person who knows exactly what they want and gets what they want when they go after it. And in Diana, I definitely see that you're very focused, okay? 10 years from now, you're so focused on your next goals. So obviously your goals 10 years from now are going to be very different than the ones that you have in this very moment. But I see that, you know, you set your sights high, so you continue to dream big. You continue to know that you have to focus on what it is that you desire in order to receive it. And I see that you're expecting the best possible outcome, which continues to lead you to the best possible outcome. So I definitely feel like you've chosen the blue calcite because the fact that you may be, you know, easily stressed or easily like anxious, I see that that is something that will sort of fade away, that you will learn to grow out of. I definitely see that that may just be a phase, okay? So if it is a trait in your character, you will learn to live with it in a way that it does not destruct any part of your life and does not have a huge impact in any part of your life. Or, you know, it may just be a phase right now that you're going through because of certain external circumstances in your life that will hopefully change, or you will learn to not give this power over you. So group number 1, that is the reading that I received for you. I hope you found it insightful as well as enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the tiger eye. So group number 2, first and foremost, a little something about why you may have chosen the tiger eye. So I know a lot of you guys have commented in my last video where I used the tiger eye that it looked like a slice of cake. So group number 2, maybe you're just constantly hungry. Maybe you're somebody who just soothes their feelings with cake because you guys say that it looks like a slice of cake, okay? Okay, jokes aside, group number 2, the tiger eye is for anybody who has a lot of mood swings recently, or for anybody who is too much roar and not enough purr. You know what I mean? For everybody who needs to sort of like balance their energy. So group number 2, let's move into your reading about your life 10 years from now. Okay, group number 2, good news or bad news first? That's the thing, group number 2, you will have learned that there is no such thing as bad news. There's only situations that you can grow from. So that is what I see overall in your reading. You will have changed from good news, bad news to, let me see how I can grow out of this situation. Let me see what I can take from this situation, even if it's not the ideal situation that I've always dreamt of. So group number 2, let's move straight into your life 10 years from now. So in the 8 of Wands, I can see, you know, very much explosive creativity. So 10 years from now, you will be at your most creative or at a peak of creativity. You will be somebody who has so many great ideas. There's like a core, there's a center of the idea, and it's just like unfolding. It's amazing, it's magic. It's like you've never been so creative in your life. So I definitely see, you know, a side of you opening that you may have not known or may have not thought was this big or this creative or this amazing. So I definitely see a lot of passion, a lot of creative energy, a lot of energy where you're like, yes, I have cool ideas and I can actually fabricate them into something in reality. So I definitely see that as something that makes you happy, you know, exploring your creativity, and something that you're really becoming good at. So entering your flow state is something that will be a lot easier for you 10 years from now. So maybe right now you get distracted really quickly, but I see that 10 years from now you're somebody who will find that balance, who will find that focus where, you know, they can sit on something for hours and not even realize how the time goes by, and you're going to be able to make it happen when you want it to happen. So if right now you feel like you're not in control over your focus and over, you know, being able to sit down and not think about anything but the task at hand, I see that in 10 years from now, you will sort of master your mind in a way that you can just make it happen whenever you need it to happen. In the sun, I definitely see fulfillment. I see basking in joy and light and the warm rays of the sun, and just like emotional fulfillment. So in the sun, I definitely feel like, you know, family life is something that you will feel happy with. So whether you want a family of your own or you prefer to, you know, just be with your partner and your 10 cats or 7 dogs, that's completely up to you. Either way, you know, emotional fulfillment and happiness, basking in the rays of the sun, that is something that I see happening for you 10 years from now. And it's definitely a sign of fulfillment. It's definitely a sign of very warm-hearted energy, of energy that is grateful and that is also willing to receive warmth, if you know what I mean. So moving further into your reading, in the Five of Pentacles, I definitely see that there may be a situation 10 years from now that has to do with the earthly realm. So maybe, you know, your fitness, your health levels, maybe financially in your job, where you will feel like you can't get to that next stage. And in the 10 of Pentacles, I definitely see that it's not the fact that you won't be successful for the next 10 years. You will have success. You know, the 10 of Pentacles is completion of a earthly goal. So completion in how much money you want to make, completion in how healthy you want to be. All of those types of things fall into the realms of the Pentacles. So know that the Five of Pentacles does not mean just because you have a situation where you're not completely happy, does not mean that you have not achieved in 10 years. It means that 10 years from now, you will be sitting in front of a wall where you're like, how do I climb this next wall? And behind you, there may be 60 other walls that you have already overcome with ease. But 10 years from now, you're going to be sitting in front of one where you're just like, how do I do this? How do I get to this next stage of health? How do I get to this next stage of financial abundance? And like I said, it doesn't mean that you're not already healthy or that you're not already financially abundant, but what it means is that you're working hard on that, and that, you know, it's something that you want to crack. It's something that you're like, how can I get over this hurdle? How can I get to the next success in my life? So I see that that is something that is going to be at the center of your life 10 years from now. That is all that your focus is going to be on. And I definitely see, you know, the fact that you have so many creative ideas may have been channeled through you standing in front of this wall and being like, I need an idea to overcome this, to get to the next stage in my life. So let's move further into your reading. We have flow, we have expansion, we have Lord Shiva, as well as Isis. So group number 2. In flow, I definitely see, as already mentioned, that you will have found your flow state, that you know how to trigger your flow state where you're just doing work and not even realizing how quickly time is sort of passing by. And I definitely see that you're very much willing to release any expectations. So while you do want to, you know, get past this next step in your life and just, you know, grow even more and accomplish even more, you sort of don't have specific expectations anymore 10 years from now. So 10 years from now, you will feel like, you know, any outcome that is in the direction that I want it to be, whether it's, you know, a new job or just more money or just increased health or just, you know, increased time, you don't mind as long as it happens. As long as one of those things happen, you're happy, but you're not fixed on one specific outcome. And the fact that we do have the sun in your reading just sort of leads me to believe that you not being picky about that is because you're overall in a situation where you feel secure, where you feel more balanced, and that is maybe why you chose the tiger eye, because you need balance, and that is something that you're going to be learning within these next 10 years. So I definitely see that your expectations won't be so narrow-minded, so to say, as they are now. You will be a lot more open to whatever the outcome is, as long as it's, you know, another positive step forward. So moving further into your reading and expansion, I definitely see that you will have learned to spread your wings and soar. You will have learned to not keep yourself on the ground so much and really think big, dream big, and dip into your potential more. So I definitely see that you will be sharing your message 10 years from now. You will be showing the world what you're made of. So the fact that there's so much creativity and that you're so into, you know, accomplishing the next stage in your life, like unlocking the next level of life, so to say, the fact that you're so into that just shows me, you know, drive. It shows me expansion is what you want. It's what you crave. You're hungry for success, for your success. So not success that is defined by society, but success that is defined by you and only you. So group number 2, I definitely see that in the Lord Shiva, you know, honoring that inner force of yours, the fact that you can rise up and rise above any tribulations, any hardships, anything that may have been trying to pull you back down. The fact that you're able to rise above that is something that is so helpful for you 10 years from now, as I see that you can accept steps that are being given to you. You can accept when the universe shows you, you know, the next little steps on your path, and you're going to be like, yes, I'm going to take these next steps and follow the path onto expansion, onto the fact that I can continue shining my light and just, you know, teaching, telling my story, allowing people to figure out how I got to where I am, as well as, you know, continuing to learn and continuing to try to make my life more amazing, so to say. And in Isis, I definitely see, you know, magic, manifesting. I see that your dreams, your visions, your goals, they've become a reality. I see that staying focused is something that you've had no choice but to do. So I definitely feel like between now and 10 years, you will have had like a worst entrepreneurial moment, like a worst moment in your life financially in the earthly realms. It may be a health scare. It may be something where, you know, like I said, financially, like things are just not going well. And I see that you will have taken so much from that situation that 10 years from now, like your goals, they're just happening because you know how to stay focused. You know how to get into that state of flow and not be distracted, because all of the noise that is going to happen between now and 10 years, you know, that situation where you're at an all-time low, which I mean, we all go through, and it's something that is inevitable. It's going to happen eventually. And I definitely see that you will come out of it a lot stronger, you know, just seeing from your reading, the fact that things are going so well and that you're so driven to get onto the next level of life, so to say. I definitely see that that comes from a place where you had difficulties, where you had to go through something in order to become this person 10 years from now. So group number 2, I definitely don't want you to be scared. I want you to keep in mind what I mentioned at the beginning of the reading. Don't see good news or bad news. See, you know, one type of news as you being able to learn lessons from it, and another type of news as just abundance and easy flow. So group number 2, that is a reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it insightful, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Howlite. So group number 3, first and foremost, I would like to speak to you about why you may have chosen the Howlite. So the Howlite is also known as the white turquoise. So that may be why you were drawn to it. Maybe you felt that sort of turquoise energy. Maybe you already love turquoises, and this is just, you know, like an addition to it. You just felt drawn to it naturally. So the Howlite is for any minimalist that feels like they're in this overstimulated world where they're constantly being, you know, requested to show up to meetings, to show up to get-togethers, to answer DMs, and, you know, to be on track with social media and the things that are going on. And really, deep down inside, it's not what you want. Deep down inside, it stresses you out. Deep down inside, it's too much information constantly thrown at you. So that may be why you chose the stone. And, you know, obviously the stone is for anybody who at heart is happy to have a limited amount of things and make sure that they use everything that they have. So group number 3, that may be part of the reasoning why you chose the Howlite, but let us move further into your reading to figure out what your life is going to be like 10 years from now. So group number 3, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the Howlite, we have the 10 of Cups, as well as the Knight of Cups. So group number 3, let's move straight into your reading of your life 10 years from now. So I'm so excited to read for you because this is like a story to me. I can definitely see a story unfolding here before my eyes for your life 10 years from now. So in the Wheel of Fortune, I definitely see that your wheel will have been spinned many, many times. You will get many opportunities to choose in what direction your life goes and what you would like to focus on in life. So think of it as, you know, those like surprise wheels that you can spin and then it like stops on something and you get a prize. So think of your life 10 years from now as a time where your wheel is allowed to be spinned again, and you know, you're just waiting for what type of surprise is going to show up in your life this time. So in the Wheel of Fortune, I want you to keep in mind that 10 years from now, you know, there will have been a lot of ups and downs. You know, life is a roller coaster and everything that goes up needs to come back down. So know that even when things are like a roller coaster, you know, at the end of the day, you're always grateful for the Wheel of Fortune, where you can sort of decide in what direction you want to take your life in. So I see you definitely always being very excited for those moments in your life. I see in the Ace of Wands that 10 years from now is a time where creativity, something that, you know, has like a new like breeding ground. I definitely see that it's something that is going to be easy for you to cultivate, and you're constantly coming up with new ideas. So I definitely feel like, you know, you will have had a lot of surprises in your life, especially when it comes to your home life, as I can see in the 10 of Cups that love is something that is here for you. 10 years from now, you will be in, you know, a relationship. You will be in a committed sort of situation where there is so much love, so much emotional abundance, and you just feel, you know, happiness. You feel completed. So the 10 of Cups is definitely an amazing card to have shown up in your reading, and I definitely feel like, you know, you constantly sort of knowing that you can choose whichever direction you want your life to go into, and making those decisions confidently and making creativity a part of your life and always like starting new creative endeavors. I definitely see that that is something that will have led to this situation where, you know, your home life is how you want it to be. You feel happy, you feel like your relationships are doing well, and emotionally, you know, there is fulfillment. And in the Knight of Cups, I see, again, on an emotional level, you know, the cups corresponds to you in the emotional realms. I definitely see a situation where you're sort of like a knight of love. You're a warrior of love. You love love, and it's something that you protect, it's something that you cherish, and it's something that you take care of. So it's definitely very clear here that you're somebody who maybe has a family that they're protecting, maybe has, you know, a spouse, a situation where you're with somebody where you're in a relationship that you feel very protective over, but you're a very loving love fighter, if you know what I mean. You're not going to go out of your way to create drama or stir anything up, but you are always going to fiercely protect your family and look out for them. So I definitely see in the Ace of Wands, you know, with so much creativity, I see new beginnings happening in the creative realm. So maybe, you know, you're starting something new traditions with your relationship. So obviously, you know, if you don't want children, maybe you're starting like new creative endeavors just with your partner, because, you know, we all have different paths. We all have different ideas of what family is. And up until that point, your idea of what a family is may have changed. You know, you may have changed from just wanting to live with your dogs to all of a sudden wanting children, or, you know, from wanting children to all of a sudden feeling like, hey, I need a little bit more time. But overall, your life is going to be fulfilled, and you're going to be happy with those relationships that you have grown and cultivated in your life. But let's move further into your reading to figure out a little more about your life 10 years from now. So in friendship, I definitely see, you know, you seeking out your soul family and being in a situation where you're with people who understand you. But let's move into that in a second. So we have gentleness, dwell cool, as well as faith. So back to friendship, I see that you surround yourself with positive people. So that leads me to think, you know, you've cleared out any negativity. You've sort of like weeded out anything that doesn't resonate with you, any friendships that don't resonate with you, and I see that you're spending more time socializing. So maybe right now you're more of like a hermit person, you're more of somebody who doesn't go out too much or has a little bit of social anxiety, a little bit of a situation where they don't feel comfortable around people. But I definitely see that with the improvement of your relationships and you maybe being with a partner who has a wide friend circle, I definitely see that more socialization is something that you will feel comfortable with and that you will sort of have a lot of joy doing, a lot more than you do now. So 10 years from now, I see that kindness is something that is at the core. So being gentle, kind to yourself as well as to others, that is important to you. So that leads me to think that maybe you're very active in doing humanitarian work, or maybe you're, doing work for animal rights, etc. But just being gentle, trying to cultivate more kindness in this world is something that will take up a good amount of space in your life and a good amount, of space in your head. It's something that you're going to think of a lot more, and you're going to think beyond the borders of your limitations right now. You're going to think beyond what you can do right now. So you're going to see this world as something that is a lot smaller than it seems like or than it can feel like, and you'll know that something needs to be done. Like you have to put out a helping hand to other people, to other animals that are less fortunate than you. And I definitely see that that is something that you're going to very passionately follow. That is something that you're going to partake in, and that will definitely, allow you to express your creativity and express your ideas, and you will be able to do so while helping others, which leads to more emotional fulfillment and more of this situation where you're happy with yourself, your home life, and like I said, you will fiercely protect them, but you're gentle. You don't need to go out fighting, guns blazing, anything like that. So in gentleness, I definitely see that speaking words of love and just trying to do everything with love is something that you will have learned and is something that you will embrace 10 years from now. So in Joel Cool, I definitely see that you're on a very specific path, and 10 years from now, you will still be on this same path. So whatever feels right for you, maybe you've already started with humanitarian work, maybe you've already started with charity work, trying to help other beings, be it as little as possible, for instance, trying to lessen your waste or trying to, go to shelters to help out. Whichever it is, I definitely see that this is a path that you will continue on, and I see that taking one step at a time towards happiness is your philosophy. So 10 years from now, I see that, you will have choices, and you always choose to just take one step at a time. You're not rushing things, and you know that if you have to, you just, spin the wheel again and just hope for an amazing surprise. Basically just hope for an amazing new door to open, and you know that if a door closes, maybe there's a window in the room that opens, and that there are always, endless possibilities. So you're not limiting yourself 10 years from now. I definitely see, romantic energy in the air. I see loving energy. I see you loving to love and sort of regaining confidence in love, because maybe right now you've given up on the thought of a forever lover or of a committed relationship, marriage, and I see that that is something that you will have learned to believe in again. So in faith, I see, humanity and benevolence. So staying calm, so trusting in the good in yourself as well as others. That is something that you also will have learned again. So like I said, romance may be something that is a difficult topic for you right now, or maybe, at some point you felt like you will never truly meet the one, or like you're in a situation where, okay, you're in a relationship, but you're not sure if they really have your back. And I definitely see that that trust in humanity is going to be restored, and you're going to see a lot more light in this world. So maybe right now you kind of have a little bit of a pessimistic outlook about the world and where the world is going, climate change, poverty, people not really caring about the things that matter. And I see that that trust and, that belief that things can truly change and that you're a part of the change is going to be restored. And I see that 10 years from now, you're going to be doing a lot of meaningful work, not only for yourself, but also for, the world and people, animals around you, living beings that will benefit from you lending them a helping hand. And just overall, I see very gentle, kind, caring energy 10 years from now. So group number 3, that is the reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found it insightful, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello group number 4, and welcome to your reading about your life 10 years from now. So you chose the Kunzite. So the Kunzite is not only a beautiful stone, it also has an amazing meaning. So the Kunzite is meant to soothe anyone who has been hurt recently or is going through a situation where they feel like they've been disappointed. So the Kunzite is for any of you who need to learn to forgive, not for the other person or for the situation, but for yourself, and who needs to reopen their love channel and believe in the good of other people as well as themselves. But let's move further into your reading to figure out what's going on in your life 10 years from now. Okay, group number 4, let's move straight into your reading about your life 10 years from now. So we have Strength, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Ten of Swords, as well as the Queen of Pentacles. So group number 4, first and foremost in the Ace of Pentacles, 10 years from now, I see new endeavors in the earthly realms. So I see that maybe you're switching careers, or you've sort of started a completely new job and completely new side venture, something in the earthly realms that has, you know, the potential to be very prosperous, the potential to really allow you to live the life that you've always wanted to live. And I see that, you know, that doesn't have to mean that you have to wait for 10 years, but this is just a new venture opening. This is just a new situation that has to do with finances, that has to do with the earthly realms that you may have not expected. But, you know, it could be, for instance, a business opportunity. It could be a deal that you never expected. So don't see this as you needing to wait for 10 years for something amazing to happen in the earthly realms. This is just an additional stream of income, an additional situation where you can start something, where you can allow something to grow in the earthly realms financially that you may not have the opportunity to do before 10 years. So I definitely see, you know, financially you sort of making moves, so to say. And in Strength, I see that that is something that you will have learned. That is something that you will know is not strength as in like power or power over something. Strength is compassion. Strength is having empathy and being able to, you know, be gentle with other people. So in the Ten of Swords, I definitely feel like, you know, this is a situation that may have taught you that, as I see that something is over. You know, there is a relationship, there is a sort of line of communication that is ended and ended for good. There's nothing more happening there. There's nothing more to gain from it, and it's just like dead, done, over. So I definitely feel like, you know, maybe that has to do with strength. You know, the fact that you had to learn that strength is not just, you know, allowing hurt to happen over and over again and continuously forgiving without actually, you know, making a change. Strength is you empowering yourself to a point where you have compassion for other people and you have empathy, but at the same time, if there is a line of communication in your life that is not serving you, if there is somebody that constantly keeps trying you, like, you have to let go of them and you have to have that inner strength. So I definitely feel like, you know, strength is also something that often comes up in correlation with children. So 10 years from now, that may be a part of your life, you know, younger people, maybe your own children, maybe just, you know, children around you, nieces, nephews, etc. And strength is definitely something that comes through maturity and you maturing, evolving into a bigger person. So definitely see yourself as being able to be the bigger person a lot easier, because maybe these days you try and dwell a little bit, you know, on whether you really want to be the bigger person because you feel like you always have to be the bigger person. And I see that 10 years from now, it won't even be a question to you. You'll know, like, I'm just a bigger person. If I need to be the bigger person in every situation, then so be it. But I am calm, I'm in control, and I'm cool as a cucumber. So that is what I see for you 10 years from now. In the Queen of Pentacles, I see, you know, a boss. I see a girl boss, a boy boss, somebody who has all their ducks in a row. So as I said, you know, there are new endeavors opening up for you, but at the same time, I see that those have probably just opened up because you have taken care of your endeavors that are here right now and that will be here for the next 10 years. So I definitely see like stability in your life. I see that while, you know, finances, etc., are something that are important for you and something that you will get in line in these next 10 years, I see that at the same time you have a very loving approach towards other earthly things. You have a very loving, tender approach towards, you know, time management. You're somebody who learns to work smarter, not harder. You're somebody who knows that they need time to themselves, and I see that 10 years from now you will be in a situation where you have stability for yourself and your, potential family. And at the same time, you still keep your eyes on the prize. You're still focused on continuing to grow and continuing to expand your empire. So I definitely see, boss energy. I definitely see in the 10 of Swords that anything that doesn't serve you, any relationships where you feel like you've been disappointed or where you feel like somebody has gone behind your back and done something that was really shady, I definitely see you not having any time for that, because you need to move on. While you do have strength and compassion for people making mistakes, because we're all human, at the same time, your mother did not raise a fool, honey, and you're not going to be here for any sort of clown business. So let's move further into your reading group number 4 to figure out exactly what's happening in your life 10 years from now. So we have Beloved, we have Delight, we have Hope, as well as Cut to Me. So I definitely see in Beloved that you have a life partner 10 years from now. You have a partner in crime, somebody that you go through life with, and this could be a significant other. This could be, a really close friendship. It could also be that your partner that you're with now, that you have like romance that has been returned into a relationship that may have not been as romantic as you would have liked it to be. So I definitely see that you going through this process for the next 10 years of being lovable, believing that you're lovable, of creating this, cultivating this air of I'm desirable, I'm beautiful, no matter what anybody may say or what the media may portray. I definitely see that that is something that will make you very strong, very attractive. So I feel like your best years are 10 years from now. I feel like this is not your best time on a, attractiveness scale level, because I see the fact that your confidence is going to be built so much more and you're going to believe that you're so much more lovable than you do right now. I definitely see that, your best time is 10 years from now when it comes to sensuality, sexuality, all of those situations, if you know what I mean. And in Delight, I see that enjoying your life is at the forefront. Being mindful, being in the moment is something that is important to you 10 years from now. And you really feel 10 years from now like life is way too short. So maybe you will have lost certain people in your life, certain pets maybe 10 years from now, and that just like shows you how fragile life is and how short life is, and that you have to live every day as if it's your last. You have to cherish every day because you really never know. So I definitely see that you will start to take pleasure in very simple things. You always have this sort of air of positivity. You expect the best, not the worst, and little things bring you joy. Just seeing younger ones around you, maybe your kids, maybe nieces, nephews, just children that you're around, having fun with such little things, taking joy in, just little games, etc. I see that that will sort of relight the spark in you, where you have a lot of appreciation for tiny things, and you will see that those are the things that really, give you the essence of life. So in Hope, I see that, love and acceptance. I see that love is yours. As I already mentioned, in the sensual, sexual realms, that is the best time for you. I definitely see that you will have recognized your worth, you will have claimed your sexuality, and I see that, you'll always choose loving thoughts for yourself as well as others compared to critical thoughts. So maybe now you're a bit critical, you're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable in my body, I don't feel comfortable being naked or, being nude in front of somebody else because I don't want them to judge me, I don't want them to look at me in a funny way. And I see that those thoughts will have fallen away 10 years from now. Love and acceptance is the main focal point, and you recognize that you're worthy, you recognize that nobody is perfect and that you don't need to be perfect to live life to the fullest. You don't need to be perfect to feel super hot and comfortable in your body. You don't need to be perfect to be desirable and for somebody to love you. So you will have truly, allowed that belief to form, to crystallize, and to be like at the root of your being. I see that in the Cloak of Wisdom, you know that you already sort of have the answers to what you seek. You have this feeling where, when your intuition tells you something and it's sort of answering questions for you, that is the answer. There's no reason to continue consulting, to continue overthinking, to continue bringing other people into situations, because when your intuition is telling you what to feel, when your intuition is giving you the answer, you listen to it, it's right. right, and you know that you already have all the answers that you need. So maybe right now you lean a lot on input from friends, from family, from, for instance, your mother or your best friend, and you ask yourself, oh my God, what would I do if this person was not in my life anymore? So 10 years from now, I see that you will have learned that, you know, just spend quality time with those people. Don't worry about something happening to them, because, you know, that is out of your control personally, but what is in your control is to enjoy every moment that you spend with those people, to not feel like you're depending on them or like your life would fall apart if something were to happen to them. So obviously, you know, losing somebody is never easy, but the grief that you would have to deal with in a situation like that is already more than, you know, you should be handling. So know that 10 years from now, you will not need their advice, so to say. You will not need to always consult them on decisions. You will consult them because you want to consult them, but deep down, you know, you have this cloak of wisdom, you have this air of wisdom, you have this maturity with you where you would know how to answer questions regardless of whether they're there. So that doesn't mean that they have to be passed, but regardless whether they're there for you to ask, regardless of whether you are able to reach them in that particular moment or not. So I definitely see a lot of growth here, a lot of love and acceptance, as well as wisdom. So group number 4, that is the reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it and found it insightful, and I will see you in my next reading.